Hey, what's up? I'm still working on Dig. Dig is deep inference generation. Basically, it's a framework system where you deploy small agents to specialize to documents, and once they specialize to documents using low rank adaptation, they're able to better understand the connections within those documents, and then they give a hypothesis, and then you have another agent come to verify that hypothesis by breaking it up into verifiable claims. That's a pretty good summary. I'm going to try and do a summary every time I talk about Dig, just so I can improve my explanation of it. So what I've done today is kind of done, or wrapping up experiment one. Experiment one was really just working on testing out the low rank adaptation and seeing how well it performs compared to other frameworks or systems. So I tried it against RAG, retrieval augmented generation. I tried against zero shot prompting. Zero shot prompting is basically just what most people do. You basically go to an AI and say, hey, what's up? And it's like, that's it. Whereas few shot prompting, which is another benchmark I ran it against, or not benchmark, but another thing I compared it to, few shot prompting is instead of just saying, hey, what's up, answer this for me, you give it examples so it has a better idea of how to answer it. So it can't give it context in a sense. But yeah, I tried it against it. Now I'm trying to look at the results. To be honest, there's a couple stuff I changed throughout the experiments. One, I changed for the low rank adaptation, which is basically like fine tuning, but like not doing too much fine tuning. It's basically it's fine tuning on a budget, I guess. I actually increased the evaluation. I'm not the evaluation data set. Increased the data set it was fine tuned on because when I did originally, I did like 8 questions, which probably wasn't even like big enough to really impact it like that. So I increased it to I think around. Oh my days. Let me look at this thing right now. So I should probably know this off the. It's around like it's 183. I still don't know if that's good enough. I've seen like maybe 500 is good enough, but right now it's only like one document and all that. And the document isn't really that big. So that was one thing I changed. Another thing I changed, or another thing I had to keep on tweaking, were the evaluation prompts to make sure I'm actually like properly testing this. Because what I'm really trying to look for in comparing these different models and systems is how well do they actually understand and can reason with the document. So basic questions like, oh, what's what's the term, or quote this thing, or what's this about, isn't really going to test like the actual understanding and reasoning. It's more so trying to see if we can understand the interdependencies within the document itself, which is what I'm trying to work on the when I make the evaluation prompts. To be honest, I've been a bit lazy when it comes to the evaluation prompts because I've just been using Gemini to do it. But I think if I actually go in and look at the document and say, okay, this is something where you have to like use multi reasoning to like actually figure out what's going on here, that will probably be a better approach. So probably should do that. I'm also looking at it myself. And to be honest, because like I'm looking at the answers, I actually don't know the answers myself, and that's probably an issue. And then I give it to ChatGPT. I say, hey, ChatGPT, what's the answers for these questions? And then ChatGPT, to be honest, probably doesn't even know the answers that well. Probably has a better understanding than myself, but still, that's probably an area I probably have to address. Maybe have like someone look over it. Um, but yeah, I'm still playing with it. Originally, it was gonna go through the first domain I was gonna work with. It was code basis, but I decided I was gonna be a bit too complex right now. So I went to the legal contract side. I'm working on it, and the 2013 Instagram terms of service. Just to do a quick evaluation and see how it performs, but it does look a bit promising. Um, there are like compared to like the prompts I've given to all the different systems and models, I think there's only been one where it's gotten it wrong. It did understand, like it got it wrong, but it understood what I was saying. And I was like, okay, so you do understand like the content within the document and how stuff affect each other. It's like your the way it started there was like it's just wrong. Like the first step was in the wrong direction, so everything else was just like it can walk, but it's walking in the wrong direction. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Even though another thing I'm realizing is that I'm not mature. I'm not a mature researcher because I really want this framework to work. So when I look at the questions, it's like I'm very biased. I'm like, oh dang, Dig is looking kind of good right now. So I guess that's why I'm going to try and introduce more people to look over the answers once I have a better look and just say, hey guys, look at this for me. I'm not going to tell you which one is which. Just trying to evaluate the answers. Um, but yeah, that's why I am. I think it's pretty cool to have like the code. Actually using Jupyter Notebook to actually like using Jupyter. I'm using VS Code, but like the way it's formatted is like the same to Jupyter Notebook. Is way more helpful. I think the reason I started using this, 'cause I remember I used to hate Jupyter Notebook in college. Like my first semester, I was using it a lot for one of my class. I hated it so much. But now I'm using it's like much more helpful because once you can actually you can run a bunch of code in the same file but within separate code cells. So if I have to run everything together, that'll take much more time because sometimes there's a bug you're trying to address. So running the whole code will be inefficient. But if I can just run that specific code, it's much more efficient. And I think that's something cool. I also think when it comes to like training models and stuff like that, it's cool to see them actually like doing that now. Um, and it's cool. It's interesting because like it's not like I'm doing like some like I don't have a whiteboard next to me and just like doing a bunch of like eigenvectors or matrix multiplications, but I'm more so just trying to like tweak stuff, make sure I actually have the stuff going on. Like it's using maybe the GPU, and so I actually don't fully understand everything, but like it's using GPU. I found I had to use CUDA the other day, which was interesting. I had no idea what that was a couple of days prior, but now knowing that, I feel like oh, I've made an actual step forward in my knowledge. But it's been fun. It's cool. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to talk about before I end this video. I did the LinkedIn post saying, hey, I'm working on this. If you're a researcher who has any insights, please direct me. I think that serves two purposes. One, to get information, but two, kind of also put myself out there. It's like, okay, hey, this Dalu guy's working on this. So if I'm ever working on this, let me bring him on board. I'm also doing the same thing on Instagram. To be very honest, on Instagram, on both my Instagram accounts, my new one and my old one, I actually probably don't know that many AI researchers, but I think it's cool because one, it's performative. But actually, on the serious note, I think it's cool because yeah, it puts myself out there as an AI researcher, but also like people who go into that field or have knowledge. I'm the person that they can come to. Like, let's say you find out this cool thing going on, your brother or cousin is working on this thing, and say, hey, do you know anyone who's working on this? I'm like, dang, this dude's always post on his story about these AI research stuff. So let me kind of try and contact him. I think that's a really great way, especially now I'm hearing more about like internships. I think Nvidia's one, or I don't know the company. I think it was Nvidia. But basically, what they ask the interns to do is like they ask the interns to refer people they know, friends they know who are actually good, and just like doing stuff like that kind of like says, okay, here's what I'm working on. I think that's what everyone should do on social media. I think I'm going to use my last couple of minutes for this, but I think on social media we became so worried about the whole idea of people being performative, people sharing fake lives, and people feeling peer pressure, or feeling a feeling of missing out. But I do think social media, once you actually just have fun with it, you're just being authentic, then it's much more fun. It's like I want to see what people are doing. I genuinely find it fun to know what people are doing, where they're traveling to, like what they're doing for fun, what they like not eating. I feel like eating is a bit much, but I think there's so much fun to be had in social media once you're your authentic self and you're not worried about like what people think. You're just more so like, oh, I want to share this cool thing I did because I like it, and when I like something, I want more people to like it. It's like I watched the Spider-Man movie. I spam my Instagram store with a bunch of Superman reels and tell everyone to go watch it because it's an amazing movie. And I think that's how I want social media to be, and that's how I want to be on social media. I don't want to be so paranoid of like, okay, am I being performative? Because it doesn't really matter. It's like I like this, I'm doing this, I want to share with you guys because I think it's cool. But yeah, that's who I am. So besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.